How's it going, guys? Pikachu Rogue here, and today we have the BAS-P SMG for you. This is a highly underrated SMG in my opinion, one that's overlooked quite frequently just based on, you know, the recoil of it initially, but it's got all the characteristics of a great SMG. You know, it's got perfect iron sights, it's got a decent amount of hip firing abilities, and also the aim down sight speed and rate of fire. It is immensely important when it comes to SMGs that you've got that rate of fire, also bullet capacity, because it does rinse through quite quickly. And with this build I'm going to demonstrate exactly how you can maximize the performance of this gun and what attachments you're going to want to rock with. So to start off with, the first attachment you want to go with is the VLK LZR 7MW laser. This is going to increase your aim down sight speed, aim stability, and sprint fire speed. There is obviously going to be one con to this, which is the lasers visible whilst aiming down the sights. However, that is a very minor thing to get to grips with. Aiming down the sight with this gun is going to be your best friend. I very rarely ever hip fire with this SMG, just based on how quickly it does snap in and out of, you know, the ADS. Aim stability is practically, you know, it's like superior to hip firing. There is no point of hip firing with this gun because the amount of stability you have when aiming with this gun is ridiculous. And then obviously sprint to firing, you're going to want to use that as well, just based on having that extra mobility and running around in and out of the map. And obviously, as you just saw there, with the next attachment that we're going to be going with is the Bruin Flash V4 stock. This is going to also increase your sprint speed, your aim walking speed, your crouch movement speed, and your aim down sight speed. The negatives is that your aim stability is going to be reduced a bit and your recoil control. However, you can mitigate these in the tuning up of the attachments. For your sprint speed, you want to maximize on that mobility as much as you can, and your aim down sight speed as well. These are the two factors that you kind of want to have always high up with SMGs, because you don't really want a slow SMG, because the whole point of the SMG is to be maneuverable and quick and efficient, coming in and out of places. And then maps like Shipment, or, you know, other smaller maps like Shoot House, you want to be able to jump around and get in and out of places as quickly as possible, because like you just saw there, you know, a Molotov comes flying at you, you want to be able to move quick away from it. So yeah, try and maximize your sprint speed and your mobility. However, if those do become problems for you and you do feel as if, you know, recoil is more of a problem for you, then do obviously tune it towards the recoil side of things. However, this is what I've been going with, and this has been working fantastically for me. For the next modification, we're going with the 50 rounds mag. Reason we're going to be going with this is because we want to maximize with the amount of bullets that we can hold in our gun. The obvious negative to this is that your reload speed is going to be slightly reduced, but it is a small sacrifice you're going to want to make for this gun, just based on how quickly and it can clean up individuals, and just having that peace of mind that you've got enough bullets to deal with someone is all the satisfaction I need to put this on. So definitely go with this. Now obviously putting this mod on is going to reduce your sprint to fire speed and your aim down sight speed and movement speed. However, with this, you know, the stats that we already have on, this isn't greatly affected anyway, because as you can see the footage, I am still moving about as quickly as I would be if I didn't have it. The other option is, you know, you've got the 20 mags, but I feel as if you're just going to rinse through that straight away, and it's just going to be no point of using that. So definitely go with the 50 round mag if you want to be able to clean up those large groups of enemies, like you're seeing here. So definitely go for this. But yeah, if you don't feel like you want the 50 round mags, then the other option is to go for the scope if you are struggling with that iron sight. For our fourth attachment, I believe, we're going to be going with the whatever this is called, the Singard, I believe. Yeah, Singard Mark V. This is going to head your you know, it's going to give you some sound suppression, so you're going to be hidden away from the map in those crucial points when you're behind enemy lines. You want to be able to sneak about without being detected, not really worrying about someone snapping around their corner just because they're seeing you on the map or hearing your gun from, you know, their teammates getting killed and stuff. This is also going to increase your bullet velocity and your damage range and allow for that recoil smoothness. All great things that improve the performance of the gun. And then obviously when you're tuning it up, it's going to, you know, kind of hit those little peak points. Don't try to over tune your gun, just try and ensure that when it hits that peak and starts to reduce on one area, you don't over tune it. But the bullet velocity is going to allow for that damage range to be increased. So obviously when you're tuning up your gun, you want to increase the damage range for it, just to be able to hit those targets from mid to long range, and be able to clean them up just like you would if they're close range. So definitely try go for the Singard Mark V suppressor. It also allows for some better control with the recoil of this gun, because obviously as you can see it is quite all over the place here and there. But I think with the way the iron sights are on this gun, I can somewhat control it just based off the iron sight, because you want to keep them underneath that little umbrella shape of the iron sight as much as you can. That way you know that you've got the recoil under control, rather than it just spraying up and then your visual being completely gone. So definitely go for the Mark V. I wouldn't really go with anything else for this modification. Compensator, there's no point. I want to be hidden away from the map. When it's well when you're you're using the ghost perk. What's the point of using ghost if you're going to be popping in and out of the map anyway? So yeah, for the next and final attachment that we're going to be going for, we've got the grip, more specifically the Bruin Flash grip. This is going to increase your sprint to fire speed and your aim down sight speed. However, it is going to reduce your recoil control. Now, like I said earlier, mobility is what we need. Like here you can see, just jumping from 3 different targets, not having any issue whatsoever. And that's all just down to having that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed tuned up to a way where it's not overly tuned. However, it is more favoured towards aim down sight and sprint firing, just because we want that extra mobility and handling from our gun. That is it for the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.